Alrighty, episode 5 already of the Ryan and Lonnie and Ryan, I don't know, order doesn't matter, I guess, podcast. And
Well,
we have a
you're the one that named this. I want to be clear on that.
I
Ryan is the
was.
one that named it, and he gave me top billing,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm not that happy about. I'd rather his name
Well,
was first.
I had to, I didn't have a choice.
I
But
know.
anyways, we have a special guest today. Rev Resale, David is your name. Can we just call you Rev? I like calling
Call
you
me,
Rev.
yeah, I'm fine with anything. Call me anything but
Right.
late for supper.
That was going to be my question. I was going to ask him if Rev was okay. I was hoping
Yeah.
it would be because I love it. The Rev.
The Rev. But we are super excited to have you on here. I know you've been a viewer of both of ours for quite a long time, and I've always been a big fan of everything that you've done on social media. But if you don't mind, maybe just introduce yourself real quick and kind of tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Yeah, well, the name Rev is not by mistake. Of course, no one else really calls me Rev. I'm Pastor D in our, in our community. But I just thought the name Rev Resale. I think I started watching Resale Rabbit a long, long time ago, and I thought, man, if that cat could resell, I could too. And thought, well, how can we play off the name? So Rev Resale came about, and started watching Lonnie, started watching a lot of other resellers through the years. But I am a full-time pastor, part-time reseller, part-time content creator in years past. I had another channel, Revstoration, where I took old Fords and old cars and sort of brought them back to life. My first calling is pastor, but after that, I got a lot of hats I wear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what does your week look like generally?
Well, pastors only work maybe one day a week, so of course we don't have anything else. That's a joke, by the way, for any pastors. That is my full-time job. So of course, anytime that takes precedence over everything, outside of family. But I have this is a pastorum. This is a study. I've got books all around me. So I'm able to have office hours here at the house. So that allows me to be free to do a lot of other things, hospital visits, Wednesday nights, Sundays. Of course, I'm always at the church, spend a couple hours at the church, on other days of the week. But my schedule is pretty open unless something goes haywire and I'm required at the hospital or somewhere else. So it allows me to pick up if there's a big deal of Hot Wheels or comic books or trading cards. I can take off in the middle of the day if everybody's well and doing good. So
I feel like that's kind of like the perfect 2 gigs to have if you're a part-time reseller. Like you have pastoring and then also doing the resell thing, which are both very flexible type schedules. So I'm sure that works out really well for you.
I have a question for you, Rev. This is going to be kind of dumb, but okay. I've heard. Okay, what kind of church are you the pastor of?
It's Porterdale Baptist. So we're not hardline. We ain't gonna beat you over the head with the Bible. It's a good sword, but I'm just a good old country Southern Baptist.
Nice.
Okay. That's how I was raised. So you I haven't been to church in a long time though, Rev. I got to be honest with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Why? I notice sometimes you're called sometimes those of your ilk are called preachers. Sometimes they're called reverends. Sometimes they're called pastors. Like, how do you choose which one to be called, or how should I call somebody like that?
Well, the official of some will say, hey, the title, the job that I have, I serve as a pastor. So I'm a pastor of a local body of believers at the church. So the Porterdale Baptist Church, on their sign, it says Pastor David A. Wheeler. So I'm their pastor. But when I was ordained, usually an ordained minister receives that REV, Reverend, at the beginning of the name. It's sort of an official title that you're given. Most guys don't go by Rev, of course, don't go by Reverend. But of course, since I've been doing YouTube, of course, I've had a lot of people calling me that. Of course, I put it as my title, but I don't hold that title anywhere else other than if I'm signing an official document or thank you notes on my orders on eBay.
Do you lay your accent on a little thicker when you're doing your videos?
Some people say that. I don't know if it is my preacher voice and that's just the way it comes out when I'm doing a video or when I'm preaching. I don't know if you can hear it now. Maybe when I get excited a little bit, it comes out. I know I saw a video on Facebook. Someone said that accent was unbelievable. And it's kind of like, I hear it all the time.
I saw your wife defending you in the comments too. She was like, no, he talks like this all the time.
Nikki T is a big defender of mine, so I'm not surprised at all.
The one I'm referring to in particular is the one where you had a buyer buy, and we're going to show some of these here in a little bit because I want to have some multimedia, but it is the one where the buyer told you how to pack it. And your accent, it was so good. I mean, it was so thick, so Southern. I just wanted to take a biscuit and like sop that accent up with a biscuit and chow down, man. It was awesome.
Well, you're in Southern Louisiana, and I don't know if you've ever heard of a bore a hole biscuit, but you get a biscuit, you bore a hole in it, you pour gravy in it, and eat it. I mean, that's
that is awesome.
That's good groceries. It's good. I'm telling you, it's good.
Did you say that's good groceries?
That's good groceries, man. That's good groceries.
I love it.
Now you're in Georgia. Is that where
right.
you are?
I was born in. I always like to say when I'm preaching or visiting, preaching at a different church, I always like to say I was born in the tail end of the world. I'm from Butts County, Georgia, so I always say the tail end of the world. That's my little dig there.
That's awesome. So I also noticed that you have an entire room of records.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was something that came about probably, I don't know, two or 3 years ago. I just noticed I always saw records and I knew some vinyl was good. I enjoy music. I've got a record player to my right here in the study, and we had a spare bedroom, and Nikki T allowed me to take the bed out and put up shelves. And I probably have, I don't know, there's A through Z twice and then 1 through 11, and they probably have 60 in every one of those. So that's probably 4,000 vinyl records.
Wow.
So a lot of them, of course, I buy collections. So I've sold some for $1,500, and I don't try to sell them any cheaper than $8. And then I put them on sale after if they sit there for a while. So I start, I probably list 200 or 300 a day. I don't have any to list now.
Wow.
We need some yard sales.
Wait, you list 200 or 300 records in one day?
It not always records, but if I have records, I can list 200 or 300 a day. And if trading cards right over here, if I don't have that, I try to put up trading cards and make sure I get, a bunch of listings up. Not every day, but of course, if there's 2 or 3 hours, I get it done. It's an AI lister. I know Kevin came and had his code Commonwealth, but it works when you have an abundance of one thing. You can sort of set it up and let it go, and it's been great. I mean, it's been it allowed me to list a garage full of vinyl records in about 3 months. So,
wow,
pretty awesome.
So, have you seen me pack a vinyl record before?
Yeah, I have.
So, anytime I've ever shown that, I typically get like most normal people. They're like, oh yeah, that's great, thank you. Like, looks like a good way to pack it. But the experts and really the collectors more probably, they hate the way I pack records, even though I don't really have any complaints from my buyers. How do you pack a record?
I never have had a complaint other than those. I had one the other day. A guy told me a specific way, and this wasn't a record. This was something else, a specific way. And all it was a cable to a Sony. It was just a Sony power cable. and he asked me to pack it in a box, and I put it in a bubble mailer. I had like 30 items to ship, and I got a well, I didn't get. He sent me a negative comment, and I refunded his money. It was like $7, but I do it the same way you do, except I take the vinyl out of the cover. So I have just the inner sleeve on the outside. I put one piece of bubble on top, one piece of bubble on the bottom, and then I think you leave the edges of the the vinyl mailer out. I fold it all the way in, which allows it to connect more in the middle. But that's the only thing different I do. I know you put extra cardboard in. I don't even do that.
Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I don't. Okay. I get that's one of the things I get the most criticism on. And so I always feel a little bad when I'm packing a record on a video, because I'm like, man, I'm kind of fake because I'm not doing it right. But I've sent out a bunch of records, and I've had very few complaints. So, but you take it out of the sleeve, though.
Not always, of course. Like I say, I have different ways that I do. I have probably 300-400 records that are like the ones that you list, that are a little bit nicer, that are 10, 12, 15, 20 and on up. They're out in my shed flips, not shed flips. I don't want to take it from you. The shed I got, the shed I've got that me and my old man built in the backyard. So we have the vinyl out there. I've taken pictures of it, but the ones in the house, a great majority of those, I just take a picture of the front cover with the record pulled maybe 2 or 3 inches out to show there's a record there. And I take a picture of the back, and on my listing, it just says discount vinyl, G+ or better. And people always write and ask, hey, is it? And it's always much better than G+. But I do that just so I can do it quickly, that I'm not having to grade every record. And that's the way I'm able to do 300 or 400. I just quickly scan them and just go quickly. And I'm selling them at a discount, and we're selling, 10, 15, sometimes 20 a day. So
you're kind of selling them more in volume than like trying to get top dollar for each one.
Well, I'm selling them individually, but I'm selling them at a discounted price. It sells it quicker.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't spend a lot of time on, so how do you, I guess the main thing for you is you have experience, so you can quickly look at the surface of a record and say, oh, well, that's just a scuff, it'll be all right. Or that's a scratch, it might skip.
Yeah. If it is not a 10, 15, or probably more like a $15 or $20 record, I'm not going to play it all the way through. Of course, if it's a higher value record, I'll put it on the record player. And I've listened to music, good Lord, I need to repent of, because I just wanted to hear how it sounded. So I've done that. And but if it is 10, 15 or less than $10, if I'm selling them for 8 to 12, I'm just going to look at it. If it's got a scratch, I'm throwing it away. I've had old pudding loaded down with 1,000 records at a time going to the landfill, because if they're scratched or scuffed or the cover is just torn all to pieces, I'm not even going to send it out for $7.
Did you say old pudding?
That's my truck. You don't know about old pudding?
Old pudding.
Yes, it's a 1968 F100. I've actually got
oh wow.
And the first time I cranked it up, me and the old man, we cranked it up and it was running good. And then I told my dad, I said, cut it off. We didn't check the oil. And when I checked the oil, it had water in the engine and it looked like tapioca pudding. When I went to drain the oil. So that's where the nickname came from, old pudding.
Can I show them old pudding right now? You mind?
Show them pudding.
I found old pudding, by the way. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna screen share for you, Ryan. Let's see. We're gonna take a look at. Now, this is from Restoration, which you haven't done in a couple of years.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that.
Yeah, but let's look at old pudding for now.
There it is. That's the very first. I think that may be the first video.
Is there any revival? Is there any resurrection?
That's old pudding right here.
That is old pudding right there.
Wow.
And you found like how did you come to find old pudding in the middle of the woods again?
That's actually one of my dad's junkyards. That's actually behind the house that we grew up in, and that's old pudding right there. Look at that good looking rascal. I'm talking about the truck, by the way.
This is something I've always wanted to ask you, because I used to watch this channel all the time. Did your dad collect old vehicles, or did he own a junkyard of some sort?
He did. Well, he worked at Sniper Power, made Sniper lawnmowers for many years. He worked there.
Okay.
And he was I wouldn't want to say a bigwig. He worked with all the guys. He worked third shift, and folks just sort of knew if they needed some extra money, my dad would buy some of their old cars. So he's drug home cars from everywhere. And I even painted restoration on the door.
I see that.
Is that what that is right there?
Truck.
That's right.
That's a
we got a better view right here.
I left the outside. I left it just as rusty as it is on the outside, and I've redone all the interior.
That is awesome.
So,
where did you get the interior parts? Like LMC or something like that?
That's right.
Yep.
I got all it needed was a seat cover. I redid the floor pans, put in a new gas tank, which is behind the seat. Painted the engine, put in a new carburetor, new distributor. She runs like slick as a whistle.
So we have something in common. I don't know if you've ever seen it. My truck isn't as old as yours, but I haven't.
Your square body.
Okay, all right. So you've seen it. And I did something similar. I haven't done a whole lot on the outside, but I did do a lot of the inside, and I got pretty much everything from LMC truck. So actually, Lonnie got to drive that truck.
Yeah,
a few months back. Yeah,
it was nice. It's cantankerous. It might not run quite as good as old pudding, but it'll go. You just got to coax it along a little bit.
Well, see, I know it's a Chevy. I actually put a Chevrolet distributor inside of old pudding just so I wouldn't have points, because of course the old points make them very difficult sometimes to run right. But I put that old Chevrolet one wire distributor on it, and I hit the key and it cranks right up.
Nice.
So how long were you like you ran restoration up to like really like you
that
had something
huge.
Yeah, you had something really good going there, huh?
Yeah, it was fun. Me and my dad working on them. Nikki T, she helped work on them a bunch. I think Lonnie alluded to it in his conversation with Candace. Having the cars and working on the old cars to make one video was pretty expensive. I mean, it takes time and resources, and of course, we went out and bought cars we didn't need just to do a video. And, it was fun, but we had a lot of viewers. And y'all understand this. You're online and people see you every week. They look forward to your videos every week. And they feel like they know you because they see your content all the time. We had some people that got really close. They watched the videos, found out like our where we lived and what roads we lived on, and was showing up to the house. Some people actually went to the old man's place and stole some parts and broke into his cars, and then had a dude showed up here at the house and knocked on the door, and my daughter was the only one home, and was calling my daughter's name. Oh, I know you. You're Reagan. And it got a little too personal for me. So I decided I'd back off.
Interesting, because I was going to ask. I think we both were kind of curious of why you stopped, but that makes total sense. I didn't expect that, but totally understandable.
Gosh.
Wow,
so it's a similar story to Ryan. That's very similar to Ryan.
We look forward. My daughter's graduating this year, and both our kids do great in school, and so we'll get back to it one day. But we want to make sure that it's we want our kids to not have any pressure just cause their dad is a YouTuber. So
totally understand how you're feeling with that, because I don't think I've ever actually said it publicly, but I have had people show up to my house as well. And it's very, very uncomfortable. So and I don't know. I don't know if there probably was zero evil intent.
Right.
But it
Of
was
course,
just
yeah.
it was just too close. I mean, we've had
Mhm.
people. I baptized, and Lonnie, you remember them Baptist days when you put them under the water? I
Mhm.
baptized viewers of the Restoration Channel that,
Oh,
and I
wow.
would
Wow.
invite. I would say, "Hey, come to church. We'd love for you to come to church." We've had people join the church from watching the channel, and that was a-okay. But when you just show up to the house unannounced and think you can
Mm,
sort of walk in, I about took the
no.
collar off. I mean, it
Well,
would have
we
been rough.
saw we were watching what's his name on TikTok, Ryan? Justin
Justin Nunley.
Nunley. Do you ever watch him, Rev?
I have, yeah.
Yep.
He's done this a couple of times where he talks about how people come up to his house and he said, "No, I don't care what you're pitching, what you're giving me. I'm going to throw it away. What you owe it, whatever you ask me, the answer is going to be no. Don't come to my house. Don't come to
Yeah.
my house. Don't like." And it's, you could tell at his level though, he should, in my opinion, he should move to like a walled off mansion somewhere,
Right.
you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
of course, if I'm out at Walmart or Kroger, or if I'm
right.
out
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Crystal and somebody sees me, they've called, same with my dad and Nikki T. And if they see us speak, I'll shake your hand, I'll hug your neck, I'll get a picture with you, no problem at all. But
Mhm.
don't show up to my domicile and expect you're gonna knock
Right.
on the door and just come in. Uh, that wasn't good. And then of course my daughter was, didn't like it, and I thought, it's not worth it. So we
No,
backed
absolutely
off.
not.
Well,
Yeah.
that is not the answer I was expecting,
Me
but
neither.
it totally makes sense.
It does.
And it came about. They were watching the video so closely. When we would crank up these old Fords, we'd go. My dad lives on a 3.5 mile dirt road, and we would just dog them. Sometimes they would have no brakes. We'd have to put them in the ditch to stop them.
Wow.
We'd drive all over. But people would see that little country sign that said the name of the road, and they would just go on Google Maps, I guess,
Yep.
or whatnot, and try to find our address. Did the same thing here, coming out of our house. And man, if somebody wants to know, and
Oh, yeah.
that's too much.
Unfortunately, every little tiny clue that you give them is just enough. I learned
Yeah.
that the hard way as well. It's unfortunate. And like you said, like I've never had any negative necessarily encounters of like people coming to my house, but still like it's uncomfortable, and it's like, it's not like you're not invited.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, Ryan, you know how few clues they need because you do that
Yeah.
contest. Tell them about that contest. I don't think you've talked about that before.
the contest.
Yeah, on your on TikTok every Friday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You're
So every
giving out-
Friday.
Mhm.
Every Friday. Well, I haven't done it every Friday lately, but for a while, every Friday I was hiding money in public, like $20, $30 here and there, and like progressively, or actually very quickly, the money started getting found, like within like 20 minutes of posting the video, and so I tried to make them harder and harder,
Mhm.
or what I thought were harder and harder, and show like minimal clues of where the money is, etc. And still the money was found. Like pretty much every video I ever posted of doing that, the money was found within a half an hour, 45 minutes of posting.
Mm.
So
And the clues are not great either. The one I've watched, I was like, no way they're going to get that. And they, boom. Have y'all ever seen the guy? You can show this dude a pitch, like just a picture, a random picture, and it'll just have a couple of trees and a beach, and then he can pinpoint like dead accurate exactly where in the world on the planet that place is.
Mm.
I'm like,
that's too much. This was a Rev Resale video that we were doing, and Lonnie always said, if you got money in the thumbnail, people are going to watch it. I don't know if Lonnie said that or not, but I always felt like videos, yard sale videos or whatnot, if you're exchanging money and you get a screenshot or a picture of exchanging money, people would watch. Well, my crazy self was pulling out my wallet that I made. I was opening my wallet up, and I used to have, I'm not going to turn my checkbook the right way. I used to have my checkbook out here and my money behind it.
Oh, no.
I had a lady message me on, and said, "Hey, you need to take this few seconds out of your video," and I just said, "Why?" And she shot me my
Your
account
routing
number to my bank.
Yep.
I mean,
Hey,
wow.
Rev, I got to stop you again. You just
Mhm.
dropped these little flexes. I don't know if you think you're flexing or not. You just flexed on us, I think, that you made a wallet.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
ain't seen that? I
You
got
made
my
that?
leather station is right over here.
What?
So yeah,
Are
man.
you joking right now?
I am not joking at all. And this is crawling under cars and getting it scratched when you're crawling under cars when it's hanging out in my pocket. I made this
Worn.
leather wallet myself. Yep.
Wow, that is awesome. So, and let me guess, it's from cowhide from a calf you raised from a little calf. You helped birth the calf, and then
I didn't tan the hide. I did not. I'm not that good. So I've tanned a few hides, but not with leather.
what, man? That's amazing. What can you do everything?
I do a lot. They say, like I say, preachers only work one day a week. So I got all this spare time. I got all this spare time that I can do all this kind of stuff. So,
And another thing that preachers have to be good at, they have to. How big is your church? How big is your congregation?
I like to say it's a normative size church. We're under 100, so we're not a big church. We're an older congregation. It's my home church, the one I was raised in, baptized in. So
wow.
I've been to South Georgia. I pastored in Alaska in 2017. I got called back to my home church and been back now since 2017. So going on 8 or 9 years now.
So I imagine you probably have to do a lot of the multimedia work at your church, don't you?
Well, we actually have COVID helped that. Of course, we were still back in the Stone Age. We didn't really have a lot of social media type stuff. But whenever COVID hit, of course, we couldn't gather. So I started using my phone and doing Facebook Live. And now we've got 3 or 4 cameras in the church. We've got a guy on the computer in the back. So we stream our Sunday morning service, Sunday evening, Wednesday evening service every week. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
That's something I wanted to ask you just out of curiosity, like how, like the amount of people that attend, like have you seen an increase like since COVID, or have you seen like a decrease, or has it kind of stayed the same? Or I'm sure there's many different factors to that, but I was just curious.
There is. Yeah, we've lost. We have, like I say, it's an older congregation, so we lost folks that just sort of had the fear of getting around other folks. So we lost some, some of the older crowd, but we've gained a lot of younger folks that are coming. We got visitors pretty much every week. We actually haven't had service on a Sunday morning now because of the snow and ice. So I looked at the weather and actually posted it. We're at like 60 on Sunday. So hopefully we'll be able to gather.
That's good. Lonnie, did you want to show one of his shorts? Because that's something you've been, sorry, did you have something that you?
No. I know. I've got some other questions I want to ask, but they can wait till later. No. I want to show that the one short. I mean, I've seen a couple of them, but one of them is just like, it's so brilliant. I love it.
So you've been posting a lot on Facebook, we've noticed.
Yeah. Lonnie said it was fun, and I wanted to try, and it is. My creative juices have flowed in some of my crazy shorts. They've been great so far.
They've been every time you post one, I'm so entertained, and they're so fun too.
Let me.
I will link. I want to say real quick too. I will link your Facebook in the description below for people to go and give you a follow over there. So,
Rev, are you doing like TikTok or anything else? Or
I'm not. See, I'm only doing Facebook. I don't have a TikTok account. I have an Instagram. I probably need to start that. I'm going to start back YouTube on Rev Resale probably before too much longer. But I'm enjoying Facebook. Just kind of learn that game and see if we can make it work.
You know what you can do, Rev? and this is how I like most of my reels I put up. I put them up on Instagram, and then there's a little button you can slide over to have it automatically share to Facebook, and it'll just drop it on like, so one upload and it's on both places.
Yeah.
Because they kind of share it.
Yeah, that's how I do it too. It makes it really, really easy.
Okay, hang on, Ryan. I'm trying to share it. Did I share it or not?
No, I'm not seeing it on my end.
Okay, wait. Now you should have it.
Yep.
Okay. So let's just let this one play through, and then we could talk about it. But this is like, I thought this was just awesome. Am I getting warm or cold? Am I getting old?
I have no idea.
Oh, that's
a record room. Keep going. I think it's that's a record room.
Yeah, that was the older one there.
Oh, that's the first one I did. Yep, you're going the wrong way. Go the other way.
Okay.
Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going.
That's it right here. This is it. Okay, now let's just watch this through. This is so good.
Yes. He accepted the offer, $27.50 for those Marvel comic books. Wonderful. Oh, even better. He sent me a message telling me how to pack them.
I got these instructions. I gotta go. Oh my God. These instructions are so awesome. I'm so happy I got them. Oh, with his own chef C. C top. D. CB 11. Confirm if they are boarded. Oh no. They are not boarded at all. Y'all can catch the sarcasm.
Oh, yeah. I didn't at first, though.
Now that they are all boarded, I need to sandwich them between two pieces of cardboard to make sure that I wrap them in bubble. Secure them in a comic mailer. For an extra layer of protection, I'm putting it in a poly bag, an oversized poly bag for moisture protection. Here's your public service announcement of the day. Experienced eBay sellers are so excited when we get instructions about how to pack the packages. Public service announcement, the real one. There's nothing more as an experienced eBay seller that we want our buyers to get exactly what they ordered, exactly how they ordered it. So we're going to ship them safely. We do it 20, 30, 40, 50 times a day. We want to make sure you get exactly what you ordered. Follow for more content like this.
That was so good.
You know what? There's a lot for me. There's a lot more going on there. Because this is something that I've been challenging myself, and Ryan has too, I know, and he's helped me with this. There was a time, Rev, when I would get a message like that telling me how to do it, and it would get me, man. Like, I'd be like, who do you think you are telling me? Instead of, and I know the sarcasm was, it took me a minute to catch the sarcasm, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, what is wrong with this guy? Like, you know? Oh boy.
I did it really well if it took you that long to catch it.
Well, I mean, you definitely have a lot of talent there, because like the acting was superb. You had the second camera angle with you running across the screen. Like, you have cinematography going on here.
Hey.
But what I really appreciate is the message that I think a lot of resellers can use. And that is, the guy, you know, the customer was probably hurt before, right? That's probably
right.
They got hurt before. Some seller didn't pack their stuff right, and they're doing that. And I'm sure when they got your package, they probably were just pleased as punch.
I hope so, yeah.
Because you packed it. You packed that really well.
But yeah, every time. I mean, it is never our intent. I mean, why would we want to sell something and for them to get it damaged? Because we're out shipping, we're out everything. So for for a perspective or for a buyer to give someone instructions, we're probably going to do it better than what they tell us to do, because we want nothing else than for them to get the package exactly like they ordered it. So at least that's the way I try to do my business. I have seen some crappy resellers pack some crappy packages. Lonnie is most certainly not one of those. I mean, he's the pack daddy if there ever was a pack daddy.
I don't pack as well as you though. I don't go through the moisture protection quite as much. I think you're more concerned about the moisture.
Yeah, that might have been for that video that I was playing that one off. I'm just telling you, Lonnie, if you ever purchased anything from our store, I would cancel the purchase. I would not ship it to you. I mean, no way I could live up to his ability of packing. I would have to resize the box. I mean, I would have to I wouldn't. Nothing but respect, good sir. Nothing but respect.
Well, being as how you're a creator yourself, you know that I pack. The good thing about me packing on camera every single day now is I don't take a day off from packing. Like I can't have a bad day because it's being broadcast to the whole world and I look like an idiot. So I pack better now because it is on video, you know.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm super proud of him. Me and Nikki T watch everyone. I mean, Nikki T loves Candace. I mean, she has smoothed out some of your edges like Nikki T smooths out some of mine. I mean, our Pam same way for Ryan. That's why the Lord puts us together with women, because we need that. But some of the new packing material you've got, Lonnie, that I don't have a Poshmark account, so I don't have those. But I have seen you put stuff that I would put in a poly mailer. I've seen you put in a poly mailer, and I'm excited every time you do it. It's like, Lonnie did not resize the box. I'm so grateful. I feel more, I'm honored when Lonnie does something that I would do.
Well, I do tend to overpack sometimes too. I'll admit that. So, and maybe I shouldn't, because that's probably doing a disservice to a lot of my viewers. You know, some of the newer resellers, like maybe I should explain that, I don't know. But what the point I was getting at though, you did another short where you talked about promoted listings and you showed, oh man, it's this sold promoted, this sold promoted, this sold promoted. Yeah. And then like
complaining on the toilet.
I don't think people, okay, I'm glad. I didn't know
no, we need to show that.
I was on the toilet.
Oh no. Can I play that one too? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. It's very good. I couldn't believe the toilet scene, honestly. So
I love the scene in the background, the sign behind you.
Yes, that's our half bath coming in from our garage. So Nikki T decorated that one.
Help me out, Rev. Help me find this thing.
It will be keep going.
It's a newer one.
Oh no? Yeah, go the other way. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that? Yeah, that's it. January 13th.
This was it. Okay, yes. We're gonna watch this one.
This is how eBay sellers have been responding to sales since January 13th. Made a sale. I sold an Elvis record for $8. Man, it sold on promoted listing. Oh, darn it. Oh, man, awesome. I sold those 1992 Don Russ Series 1. They could tell you I sold them. Oh, it sold via promoted listing. Oh, darn it.
Would poop here again.
Yes. I sold the Big Ben clock for $34. What is? Oh no! It sold on promoted
toilet paper.
Oh, man. Hey y'all! I know we may not like the new fee structure that eBay has with all of their promoted listings. I want to give you a piece of advice. If you're promoting your item to a point that if it sells under promotion, you're going to be upset when you're in the restroom or upset when you make a sale. Listen, don't promote it at that price. I always promoted a set fee, and I am always excited when it sells. Just be grateful that you made a sale. Most of what I sell, I couldn't sell anywhere but eBay, and I'm grateful every time that I make a sale. Just a little advice from little old Rev. Follow for more like this.
I did see CapCut put sell SELL instead of the other, but that was CapCut's error that I didn't correct. So that's one that's really got me. I know, Lonnie, you've talked about it. All content creators have talked about the new promoted listing fee structure, the way they attribute promotion and charging you that extra fee is really crazy. And I agree to that. But if I'm going to promote it and it sells under promotion, if I'm going to be upset about that, I ought not promote it. I ought to just say, I'm not going to do it. Every time I make a sale, I'm grateful for it. So that's just my view. I'm not going to pout about a sale.
That's something that Ryan and I have been talking about for quite a while now, and that's why I played that video. Well, first of all, that video was entertaining, just like the other one was. But man, I really, really, really appreciate your perspective on this, because if you go look at YouTube, and I'm guilty of it too, to some extent, I'll complain just like anybody else will. I try to maintain a positive attitude for the most part, but you will catch me complaining from time to time. And I really appreciate that you're telling people to have gratitude, because it's a situation that we can't really change anyways.
That's right. It's out of our control.
Right.
I mean, if it's really not out of our control, we can choose not to use eBay. But for me, eBay is the number one cash cow in reselling. It's easy for me. I'm putting it up there. I couldn't sell a majority of what I sell on eBay at a yard sale. So why would I be upset when they, I get it sold and 3% promotion? I'm going to be excited and grateful. I may not like their fee structure, but really all it is a fee. And it's a fee to sell there. And if that's what they charge, then I've got to check the box and say, hoorah, I made a sale.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's important to have. And the same thing with the customer. Like, none of us likes being told how to do our job. I don't care what your job is. Like, it's gonna hurt your pride a little bit, And I think your perspective on that as well is just one of being grateful that you had a sale, and and getting it to your customer just wants to get in good condition, like you said. It's all about perspective.
Yep, that's ultimately it comes down to that, and everything in life. I mean, there's so many things that we can get our panties in a wad about, and all it's going to do is cause our panties to be in a wad. I mean, it ain't going to change it ain't going to change it at all. So I've learned, of course, Nikki T's probably, when she watches this, she's probably going to say, you're preaching to yourself, because there's a lot of things I need to learn. And I'm growing. I'm growing every day. But if I'm going to get mad about something on eBay, I might as well put it down. So, all right, I've got a question. Lonnie said he had one. Lonnie, you made this statement the other day on one of your videos. I think it was. We've enjoyed your packing videos, because you and Candace are just talking as husband and wife. And me and Nikki T enjoy those. We learn a lot from your packing, but we don't need to watch it to see you pack this stuff.
I understand.
We just enjoy listening to y'all. But you were talking about not going into the post office, that you have a little PTSD, about the post office. So I got a story, and I don't know if you want to share yours. In the little town we live in, there's a post office between the church and our home. So I go to that post office. I purchased a post office box there. I call it the love box. It's 143. Ryan, you may not realize why that is. The old beeper days, 143 was I love you. So I have the 143 box. Yeah, the old pager days. Young guy, I had to explain that to you. I know.
I thought it was a Bible. My head went to it being a Bible verse about love or something.
Yeah, well, 143.
I didn't know. What that was.
Oh boy, me and Nikki T in the old beeper days, we use that. So I call it the love box. I've used it for both channels, and but I go in there all the time. They close at 4:30, and the city that's the biggest city close to us, they close at 5. But there is this guy that's always behind the counter at the one at the bigger city. Let's call his name Brian. I really should call him Jerk because that's what he is. And every time I go in, he's rude to customers. He's rude to everybody he comes into contact with. I've never seen him smile. So he probably needs the Lord and a lot of other stuff too. But on this day, I'm bringing I think I had 3 bags that I had. And if I'm doing USPS, I always have my scan ready. It's just one sheet of paper. I know Lonnie doesn't do this, but if you print all your labels at one time, you can get a scan form. And I take that scan form, I have it on a clipboard because I keep it, and I get a receipt back and they stamp the scan form and I get it back. Well, on this day, this guy, Brian, that's a jerk, he takes my scan form off my clipboard and gives me the receipt. And I said, Brian, I know him by name. I said, Brian, I need that sheet of paper. That goes, I staple it, and I've got a place in my shed where I store that. I need that. And he said, I'm going to give it to her. There was a lady behind me that needed a label, that needed to make a label. Now, this is post office. And I told Brian, I said, well, Brian, that's my copy of paper. That's my sheet of paper, and I want it back. And he said, no, you gave this to me. And when he said it like that, I mean, I literally about put my preacher card on the table. I mean, it was my temperature rose up, and he takes that sheet of paper, and I said, well, look, it's mine. He takes it and folds it and throws it in the trash can. Right?
What?
I mean,
what?
Eye to eye. He's looking at me when he does this. And I thought, I'm in a city where I'm pastoring a church. People know me. It's probably a federal offense to, jerk a knot in this post guys. I really wanted to go across the counter. It was the worst experience I ever had.
Lord help me.
I needed that. And all I said one word, and it was not a curse word. I just said, wow. I ain't going to tell you what I was thinking, but I said, wow. And I turned and walked out. Now, before I go too much further in the story, if the lady would have asked me for the paper, I would have gave it to her. But because this guy was demanding that I was going to give her my paper, or he was going to give her my paper that was mine, I didn't want that. So I went home. Now, Lonnie, I should have been grateful I made all those sales. I shouldn't have pouted about it. I shouldn't have got upset. But I mean, it got all over me. I mean, I was hot. So I had a number to the postmaster in our community, and had her cell phone number. So I called her cell phone number after I'd already wrote a few pleasantries in the post office little toll-free thing. And she told me, she said, will you come back to the post office and wait in the parking lot for me? And I said, I'll come in. She said, no, I just want you to come. Said, you can look through the glass if you want to. So I go to the glass, and she walks up to this guy. She makes him dig into the trash can, get my sheet of paper, and she walked it to the door and handed it to me. And I just turned and looked in the glass at Brian, and I gave him an old deuces, and I went and got an old pudding and went home.
Got an old pudding.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you
this guy still work? Is he still working there?
He must have tenure, or he must have some photos on some people. I don't know what he's got, but he is a jerk to everybody. Like, I mean, there are people, and I just won't go back because I think if I saw him at Walmart, we would be scrapping in the aisle. I mean, he's a jerk. But like I say, he's probably got some stuff going on in his life. Right. But that's where my PTSD. Yeah, I won't go to that post office because of that. Because if I'm gonna get angry about that, I don't need to be in that situation.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any story that good, Rev. But I really appreciate that you said you were gonna put your preacher card down on the table. Mm-hmm. So if that happens, if a preacher ever puts their preaching card, do you have a preacher card?
No, I do.
You do?
No, I don't have like hey, I'm officially a preacher, but I do have a business card that says, who I am and what.
So like if you ever get pulled over, like if you're out and going too fast in old pudding, do you have like a little move? Like what's your move like with a cop when?
I have a Bible in every one of my automobiles. And I don't, I mean, it's not it's just a Bible. I just have my Bible there, and they normally say, "Oh, you're a pastor?" And I'll say, "Yeah." And most of the time it helps, but sometimes they'll say things like, "Well, you ought to knew better than to break the law," and I still get tickets. So, yeah, I've got actually warning tickets and tickets on the visor in my Danger Ranger. I have a 99 Ranger that I have, and I keep them
Nice.
there to remind me to slow down.
Nice.
So,
Well, you know, I do have some similar stories. Like it seems like to me, and I don't want to talk bad about these people, man, because I've had some really good interactions. Like we had our carrier retired about, I don't know, 6 months ago, and she did such a good job for us. We loved her so much. Do you know? This is a couple of months ago. She actually came. You talking about people showing up at your house? Well, she came to our house. And she sat right there in Candace's chair, and we talked to her for about 45 minutes. This is a couple of months ago. That's how much like we've had some really great experiences too. But I found at our post office, when I go in that lobby, and I'm used to when I go to a business, say, and the more you buy, and it probably the more you buy, the more they love you, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Should
how
be.
business usually works.
Yeah, should
Now,
be.
the more postage I buy and I bring into that lobby, the more they hated me. They hated me. The better I'd be doing, the more they'd be hating me. That's what I saw. And I try and stay away from that because, like you say, it'd be so easy to break some kind of federal law. And I don't want to do that. And they don't want me to do that either. So if I can just get my pickups, or when we do have business, I send my better half in to handle it, and I'll wait out in the parking lot. That's just knowing your limits, you know?
Yeah, I don't mind being in the newspaper, but I don't want to be in there for something at the post office. So, I mean, so sometimes it's best just to stay away. The little community that we have here, we have three ladies that work the counter. And man, they see me every time I come in. They get a card. If I know it's their birthday, I'm giving them something. I'm going to love on them because I know Mondays, like today, I mean, they got 40 something packages, and I try to get in there at a reasonable hour. Me and Nikki T always pack when she gets home from school. So I'm normally a little bit later, but we try to get it set up and get it to them at a reasonable hour. Because I know they're working just like everybody else has a job, but I think old Brian had a little bit too much coffee that day. So.
And this is a guy you know. Does he know? Did Brian know you very well before?
Oh
this,
yeah. When I say no, I mean I see his plaque, and because he's such a jerk, I remember his name because I pray for him. Pray for him often. So I've been in probably 10, 15 times, and just it's always a long line there. And I just, when there's a long line, you can see how he's interacting with other people. So he's just probably not a happy guy, and they need to put him in the back. He doesn't need to be in customer service, but he probably has some tenure or something like that. Brian, if you watch this Lonnie and Ryan podcast, I forgive you, sort of.
Have you seen Brian since it happened?
No, not been back in.
Oh wow.
And that's probably been over a year. So I'm the same way. I just won't go in because I don't know. He may be embarrassed. I'm sure he remembers that day digging in his trash can to get my sheet of paper back. That was probably pride in me, but I felt so good when I seen him doing that, and that shouldn't have felt that way, but I did.
Well, at least you're praying for him.
Yeah,
you're loving your enemies.
Yes.
I didn't hear a whole lot of love yet, but maybe so. Hey, you know what?
Yeah,
we're all I'm gonna say a prayer for Brian and a prayer.
That's
for
what
Rev
I'm praying about. Is that that's the part I'm praying about, so I can find some love for him. And I don't know how y'all are. I interact with people all the time, of course, in ministry and in life. I see people in their best and in their worst. And I, of course, am called to treat people fairly and right with honor and dignity. And when I see someone that is treating people unfairly all the time, I sort of get bristly. I sort of try to defend that because it's like, wow, I'm working so hard, because there's times I want to let my hair down and be a turd, but you don't have to. I mean, you're not going to gain anything from it other than maybe losing a friend or losing business. So I try to be as nice as I can be, even when it's hard.
And that's something Lonnie and I have talked about. We can kind of bring it into like the social media side of things when it comes to like negative comments.
Mm-hmm.
And something that we always remember, and that we've been telling each other for a while now, because we've kind of been on this gratitude journey as well. Like Lonnie was kind of alluding to it earlier, but something to remember is like when somebody's nasty to you, or somebody says a mean comment or something, it's really not them being mad at you. It's really them battling something in themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's unfortunate. And their goal is to bring their pain or their hatred or disdain for the world or their life onto you. And if you respond negatively, they
You're
win.
spreading it. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So, we've kind of tried to respond to mean comments differently lately. And it's from the heart too, because we really do feel like in a weird way a little sad for these people, because
I always say hurting people
struggling.
Hurting people hurt people. And they feel bad. They want everybody else to feel bad. If somebody else is having success and they're not, they want to be upset about it and fight about it and try to poo-poo on whatever their parade. And it feels good for a moment, but guess what? They're still going to be succeeding, and you're still going to be losing with that attitude. So, and I'll be honest, that's why social media sometimes can be a challenge for me, because you see people that are doing things I don't think the best way, and it seems like they're getting the hand raised, they're getting the praise, they're getting the views. And then, others are trying to do something that's positive and it's not as flashy. But I'm okay with that. I mean, you've got to learn to be okay with doing it the right way, even if you're not going to get as much as somebody else is doing it the wrong way.
We actually had a
this exact conversation
today.
Yeah.
Just a little while ago.
Yeah.
Ryan is my 30-year-old. I'm 52. Ryan is 30, and I look to him for wisdom every day.
Yeah, that's right.
Seriously. But
wisdom is not an age thing.
It's not. It's not. Let me tell you something though else about the trolls and the mean comments and stuff. There's another part to that too. And this is I've been doing this almost 10 years just on reselling content. Right. And I found myself in this position a bunch of times too. Sometimes I think, oh, that's a meanie. They just don't like me. They're trying to make me feel bad with this critique or whatever. But then there are also other times, and it's hard to tell the difference, where they're telling me something and I'm taking it as them being mean, but it's actually valuable criticism about something I am doing wrong. And not only am I doing this thing wrong, and there's still probably a lot of things now, but I'm spreading that message to thousands of people, which is even more damaging. And I'm just taking their criticism the wrong way, and I'm being overly defensive. I've been in that spot too, and I've been maybe nasty back or whatever. And then I think back about it months later, and I'm like, you know what?
It was right.
They were right. And so it's sometimes is really I really try to look at every one of these, and I'm like, okay, where is this comment coming from?
Yep.
Is there some possibility that they're right? Because I don't want to always push away all criticism, because I don't know it all. I make a lot of mistakes every day.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge for me.
I got a comment on one of the shorts. It said something like, "Go pack salt up." I mean, it was like a very, very negative comment. I didn't even finish what I thought it said, and I thought she was telling me that I needed to go pack it. And I guess in the English language, it's difficult when somebody types something in words. you don't know the inflection, you don't know what they're meaning or where they're aiming. So I thought the lady was telling me to go pack something, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute, we about to put some rev in it. I mean, I was really, and then I had to pull back, and then I read it, and I didn't even do anything but just give it a thumbs up, because the comment shouldn't have been made, but I'm trying to
all you can do.
Trying to get monetized, so I just clicked that. But it's hard sometimes with comments. If you got to have a thick skin. I think like Dave, ADH Dave, or Dave in real life, he's turned his comments off, because I think he was going through a thing where comments was affecting like what he was doing and how he was working and how he was going about his day. And if you listen, you're going to find a critic if you're willing to listen to everybody. So you just have to know what you're supposed to be doing and do it.
You know what else? You know what's worse? How about the people that gas you up when you shouldn't be gassed up?
Right.
Yeah,
that's dangerous too.
That's equally dangerous. That might be worse, because you're gonna let all that come in. You're gonna soak up all that stuff.
Yeah,
that's the good stuff.
I'm it.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
So I mean,
when you on that pedestal, that fall is a whole lot farther. So don't let a bad foundation pick you up, because it's going to crumble, and it does often. It does often.
Hey, what was that little rhyme you did a minute ago? That was catchy. I like that.
It was on the spot. We're gonna have to make a short on Facebook about that. I don't even remember what it was.
Let's get some. Hold up, wait a minute. Let's get some rev in it.
That's right. That was
good. I love it, Rev. I love it, man. But the comments, the comments. I don't. And then if you talk about it, I try not to even talk about comments, because the only people that will ever understand how the comments and how they affect you are other people that have to deal with them, or that deal with those comments. If you haven't ever had all the bunch of comments coming at you, you don't know what it feels like. It's real easy to say, ignore the haters or blah blah blah. Like it's so easy to say that.
All right, here's a preacher story, and it will perfectly line up with what we're talking about. There was a guy who went to become a prospective pastor of a church. So he preaches a sermon in front of the congregation, and he's over, I call it the assembly line, when people come after the message and they're talking to the pastor on the way out. And there was a little boy, and the little boy came up and he said, that message was just too long. And then he turned around, and the little boy went to the back of the line, and he was talking to a few more people, and the little boy came back up and was talking to the pastor, and he said, that was a rather boring message. And he goes back to the back of the line, and he comes back up the third time and said, I think you still got a lot of learning that you need to do. And the guy that was next to him said, man, don't worry about that kid. All he ever does is repeat what other people are saying.
Oh.
Oof. The kicker to that story is man, criticism can hurt. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's the biggest lie that has ever been told. Words sometimes are worse than sticks and stones. And as a content creator, anybody who welcomes criticism or puts themselves open to criticism, it's going to sting, and it does often. So we get it.
And they say, and you said earlier something else I wanted to talk about. You said tough skin, or thick skin. I don't want thick skin. I don't want to. I don't want to lose because to me that equals losing your humanity.
Not
to be able to do YouTube. I don't want to do that. My humanity is what makes me valuable.
That's
not like making myself less, like shielding. Like my humanity is what my viewers like, I think.
Oh,
so I don't want to cut that off, but also I need to protect myself. So I understand why Dave did that.
Oh, me too.
But man, that's sad, huh?
It is. But I pray, for folks that like I say, hurting people hurt people. So I try to remember. All right, Lonnie, here's some spicy stuff. Changing the just a little bit. You
Uh-oh.
probably don't remember this. Years ago, you'd went to a yard sale or something, and I think you and Candace were showing off these driving shoes. I don't know if you remember them. They were like green suede, and they had on the heel, they had a little bit of heel, I guess, when you're pushing the clutch and the gas pedal. And Lonnie was saying, these shoes are awesome. These are the nicest shoes. Look, Candace, look how awesome these shoes are. And I mean, I've watched Lonnie, and I thought, you know what? I need me some riding shoes. So I went on Lonnie's site, and
I'm so
ordered.
scared right now.
I went on them shoes. They came in the mail.
Uh-oh.
And Lonnie, I'm gonna tell you, them were the worst shoes I ever bought in all of my life.
Are you serious?
They were
What?
they were 12s, but I think they were in like millimeters and not inches. I mean, them things were tight. I put them on, and I thought for a second, send these rascals back to Lonnie, and I didn't. I threw them away. So Lonnie, if you remember that years ago,
I don't.
You got me, man. It was like,
how much was it, Rev?
It was under $50 and above 40. And I mean, I was,
whoa.
I'm just telling you, them shoes were not good and awesome and cool, like you were saying.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Man, I've got beef out there, Rev, that I had no. I've got so many beefs I have to squash in this world.
Oh, I tell you what.
Wait, is this a true story? That was a true story?
This is a 100% true story. There was no ill intent, no anger, none of that. But I disagree with your assessment of them driving shoes.
that would be a good feedback.
Oh,
no, that would be a good feedback. I disagree with your assessment of these driving shoes.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they were like Italian or something like that. An old country Rev. I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna get me some riding shoes, some driving shoes. Them things sucked.
I've never even heard of.
Yeah, they have a special thing on like the heel, on the heel or something, Rev. I can't
keep talking them up. Keep talking them up. The heel like wrapped all the way around to the back, so that when you're flexing the foot, you've already you've got something on the floor all the time.
Okay.
But I think I needed a bigger shoe, I guess, because them rascals didn't fit. So, but
wow.
You got me, Lonnie. You got me.
Okay, well, I spent that money on something really good, I'm sure.
Oh, you've turned that $40 into a whole bunch of $40 since then. So
I might have bought. I hope I didn't buy a bottle of booze with it or something.
I don't even think I got a shout out. I don't think I even got a shout out or nothing.
Well, Rev, let me do it now. Rev, thank you very much for buying those crappy shoes. I appreciate it.
We finally agree they were crappy.
Oh man! Well,
wow.
Ryan, what do you have for Rev? We need to go move on to something else.
Let's see.
While you think about it, I have a question for you, Rev.
All right.
Do you sell Bibles on eBay?
Wow, I knew that was coming. My rule on selling Bibles on eBay is really it's profound. Everybody will be so excited. I only sell Bibles on eBay that'll sell. I sell Bibles on eBay. Every Bible I bought, I covered this one with leather, even put my initials on it. This is a Bible, but I paid money. Cool. I paid money for this Bible, and every Bible that I own, I bought a whole bunch of them. I have been giving away. I won't take the free Bible at yard sales.
Right,
but I'll buy a Bible to resell, because I know I bought a whole bunch of Bibles in my life,
right.
And people that are given free Bibles may not read it, but those who buy a Bible, they're probably going to read it. So
yeah, that's a great point.
I'm happy to sell Bibles on eBay, and if I find a nice Bible, I'm going to purchase it. And if I don't need it myself or don't know someone else that needs it, now, of course, somebody in the community in our church says, hey, I want a Bible. I've got 30. I'll give them a Bible. one of mine. But yeah, I sell Bibles on eBay.
What's your favorite version? If you had to pick?
I preach from the King James version, old school. I
Okay.
like the poetic
Wow.
language. Yeah, Porterdale Baptist Church. Go watch one of the services, and But I think every preacher ought to take the dollar words and make change out of them when they preach. So, of course, if the language seems like difficult to understand, that's what you got a preacher for, to explain it and to tell you what it means. But I do study. I have a lot of different translations that I use. New American Standard was seminary and Bible college. I used it, but I preached from KJV. So.
I'm
Nice.
kind of like you on the free Bibles. Now, if there's a really nice, because I've sold a pretty good many Bibles. So if I know which ones are a little better than other ones, more valuable than others. So
I have all free Bibles.
Right. That's what I was going to say. If I see one that's free and I want to get it, then I'll say, hey, I'll give you $5, because usually in that kind of spot, you can just donate $5 or whatever. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But, and one time, this wasn't too long ago, I don't know if you saw this or not. We went to, it was a pastor's house.
Yeah.
And the kids were selling all of his books and Bibles. Not selling. They were selling all the contents of the house. And he had a room, or they had a room that was nothing but books and Bibles. And they said everything in there is free.
Wow. Yeah. And
it was great stuff. It was like sets and just like all the good stuff. A lot of Swaggart stuff. Swaggart Ministries is here in Baton Rouge, or was here in Baton Rouge. I don't know what it's called now. But they had a lot of that stuff, which does really well.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's all free. I'm like, ma'am, I'm about to take a lot of it out of that room. And I said, how about we just give you $100 and we just take all the books and she said, that sounds awesome. And and then we took probably about 500 pounds of books out of there.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
Yep.
And the thing is, there were people in my position and others that were looking for that book, and the only way they were going to find it is if Lonnie put it up on eBay. So you did a service to who was selling it and who was buying it. I mean, people that get on their high horse about buying and selling stuff on eBay, they don't really realize that everything you have ever purchased has been resold. I mean, we don't get outside of my leather wallet. I mean, you don't go through the process. Somebody's had their hand in it, and all these people need to be paid. So reselling, I mean, if you go buy at Walmart, you're buying something that has been resold. So the morality and the people who get on their high horse, you didn't pay them enough. Well, I paid them what they agreed for me to pay them, and I wasn't being unruly or unfair. We had a deal. I made a deal, and I'm gonna pass that deal on to whoever buys it from me.
Well, let me ask you this then. This might be a bridge too far, but I'm going to try. So you spread the good word at your church, right?
That's right.
Well, I spread the good word on eBay.
Amen.
Right? Am I basically a preacher now?
Do you get the preacher card? Lonnie's like, I want the preacher card.
Yeah. Hey, I have zero qualms of there's some preachers out there that are scum that I wouldn't sell their mess. I'm going to burn it. I don't want anybody to get it. But a Bible, I'm not, I don't have a line. I want the Bible to get out into as many hands as it can. So I'm happy when somebody buys a Bible. So.
Something else I've sold a lot of. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. I would say probably under 10 times. I've sold probably about 10 Ouija boards over the past 10 years or so. One of them was really old. It was like from the 20s, I think. It actually sold. It was like wood. It was made out of wood. It might have been the real deal, The others were all just the fold up cardboard type. So would you sell a Ouija board?
Can I try to guess what he's going to say?
Yeah. Guess what he's going to say.
No.
I don't think so either.
I'll take the devil's money and use it for God's glory.
So
if somebody, So listen, and this is
interesting perspective. I didn't see this coming.
I said
All
yes in kind of a flippant way. So let me tell you what I mean by that. Somebody, came to me and said, "Hey, what if somebody in your community that was the biggest sinner in the community and won the lottery, and he won the lottery and he came into your church and said, 'Hey, I want to donate some of my funds. I don't believe in God, don't believe in Jesus, but I want to give you and your church $1 million to do ministry.'" I would see that as God allowed this loser to win the lottery so our church could get $1 million to do good with it. So maybe there's some of that. I probably wouldn't sell a Ouija board, but
Right.
I'm kind of halfway in that.
Okay.
It's so I've used. I don't know. That's kind of tough. I mean, that's kind of one that maybe I would have qualms with the Ouija board because I've seen people do some crazy stuff on movies with Ouija boards. So maybe that's me.
And you probably wouldn't be caught. The good preacher probably wouldn't be caught buying the Ouija board to even have it to sell in the first place, right?
Yeah, that's right. I've seen some stuff at yard sales though. Whew.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Huh.
Is there anything else you wouldn't sell?
Oh yeah. Nikki T, any like risque stuff and things like that. I wouldn't sell it. I buy a lot of comic books, and I think there was some swimsuit comic books we saw one time, and I was like, oh my goodness. But anything that I wouldn't want my kids to see in the shed, I probably wouldn't sell. So that's just where I'm at. So
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. And I can respect. I've actually sold some things in the past that I kind of regret selling, to be honest. Some stuff that I probably could have just brought to the landfill instead. And let it.
Yeah, there's some money and stuff, and that's another thing about reselling. And this is one of those philosophical things. Of course, in ministry, I know that people have value, and some people don't even realize it themselves. But if Christ was going to die for the world, then everybody has value. Everybody's created in the image of God, and they have value. And that's what reselling does for me. Is I've found things that I would have taken to the landfill before. I would have thrown away. I would have, not slowed down at a yard sale. And since I've been reselling, I've found value in things that I would not have known had value ever if I wasn't reselling. So, that's kind of cool. I mean, we can see value in stuff that other people would say was useless.
It's a good way of looking at it.
Well, Rev, is there anything else that you would like to talk about or promote that you're doing? Like we want to give you a chance to like a big part of what Ryan, like we started out with maybe the more titillating type things on this channel, and because we want to bring people to watch, but one of our missions here is to like help people too. And like we want to help content creators such as yourself get out there, because you have a lot of talent and you have a good message, and we want to help that along, and that helps us too. Like this has been a great show so far. So that's really the reason we're doing this right now. Right, Ryan?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the Facebook page, of course, I'm trying that. I don't know if we'll make a go at it, but I mean, I think it's pretty fun. I've enjoyed it. So, of course, we'll be putting out content there.
I think if you keep doing, I'll just say this. I think if you keep doing skits and like videos like you're doing, I think you're going to find success, because there's nobody else out there that I've seen, at least. And I don't watch a whole lot of reseller stuff on Facebook. So if I'm wrong, let me know. But
you're not.
I don't think there's a lot of people making that kind of like that content. Number one, it takes work to do. And number two, you need the talent, and you have both.
Well, I think, of course, Lonnie talks about the accent, but I mean, I communicate for a living. I mean, that's what
huge
I
advantage.
do. So I enjoy that aspect of looking at things at a different angle and kind of presenting it in a way that is palpable, that people can take it in. So I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed, like, instead of what sold, I've enjoyed doing the little, hey, I sold this Dolly Parton album, and I talk about Dolly Parton for a minute. And there's going to be people that's going to enjoy that. Other than saying, hey, I sold this Bible, I'll tell you a little bit about the Bible. So, I mean, I'm trying a few different things and see what'll stick. But we'll probably do the content. And Lonnie knows this. Reselling content is hard to be original because we're all selling stuff. So, I mean, really the thing that separates people in the reselling is our personalities and who we are.
Yes.
That's really the only thing different. Commonwealthy Picker and Dave and Kerry and all of these different ones that are doing reselling, Harold Tornado, all of those, we're doing the same thing, maybe different scales, but we're still going and buying stuff and reselling it on these different platforms. So there's really not much to separate that other than just who we are. So I'm just trying to do something a little bit different. Facebook, I'll be back on YouTube, me and Nikki T. My wife, that's another thing. I probably need to say this. My wife is awesome. She enjoys buying, and she pulls the listings that I sell every day. So we're a team, and
that's great.
Man, and I know, Lonnie, I've even put it on Reseller Water Cooler. I know you're grateful for Candace, and I know Ryan is grateful for Pam. I've seen too many content creators pimp their wife out. I won't do that, but I want my wife to be on the channel, and we're a couple, we're a team, and so we'll do YouTube again.
Yeah, no, you've done a fantastic job of separating yourself and being original with your content lately, and that actually really caught my eye. So definitely keep doing that.
Yeah, those shorts the two shorts, and then you've got some others. That's the highest quality reselling short content I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, hands down.
Wow,
like that's how good it is, because it's like original and like you executed well. If you kept doing that, excuse me, if you keep doing that, I think you will find a lot of success.
No doubt.
Got a lot of original content on the toilet. I do.
Well, it's probably
it's been an hour and a half or so. I
think. But no. So thank you, Rev, for coming on here. We really appreciate it, and this was a fun episode. I expected it to be fun. I didn't expect it to be this fun. This has been great, fantastic.
I did. As soon as I saw, like the first time I saw Rev, it's the first time I saw that short you made about telling you how to pack. The first time I watched it through, I took it seriously. And then I was like, and then halfway through, I was like, dummy, he's being sarcastic. Not sarcastic might not be the right term, but he's
just making light of a situation we deal with often. Yeah.
And then I watched it through again, and I'm like, oh, this guy is brilliant. I was like, okay, this is going to be a fun podcast with Rev. And it did not disappoint, at least me.
Well, I appreciate both of you. I love your channels and your new content, your family.
Thank you.
Lonnie, me and Nikki T have watched you and Candace for years and will continue to do so. So I appreciate, I'm honored y'all had me on, and I hope we get more views than Kevin did last week, even though it wasn't really spicy, but I am competitive enough to say, bring the views on, y'all, bring them on.
Okay, Rev, I tell you what, I want you to look in my store when we get done.
Yeah.
Okay. What size shoe do you wear?
Size 12.
Okay. I don't know if I have any 12s or not. If I have any, next time I have a pair of 12s and you see a pair of shoes I have in my store that you like, you message me, and I'll send you a pair of shoes and a Bible. I'll send you a pair of shoes and a Bible free of charge.
I'm not going to ask you if they're nice, if they're cool, if they're awesome. I'm not going to do that.
I'm a salesman, Rev. What can I say?
Hey, you did a fine job on that. I was disappointed with the purchase, but you did a fine job.
Thanks a bunch, Rev. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, it was awesome. Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thanks, Rev. See you, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
And